Bill Belichick reportedly has signed a 3-year deal worth $30 million. Reportedly, it's probably right now in the process of being approved by the UNC Board of Trustees.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being more than... You can't do a 3-year deal for a college coach. He's going to do a 5, and whether he stays 3 or whether he stays 5 or whether he wants to be there 8, I don't think they're going to do a 3-year deal. Now, I don't know.
I'm just telling you what's being reported. That's what I'm saying. And now they're saying 5?
Yeah. I heard last night 3, and then this morning I was like, who's doing a 3-year deal for a college coach? Now, the crazy part is it could be a 1-year deal. It could be a 3-month deal.
Because his son is the coach in waiting. Who knows how long he's going to be there?
But I need 5 because, they're going to negative recruit against me.
Makes sense, yeah.
Guess what? In the world of NIL and portal, there really isn't as much negative recruiting as there used to be. It used to be, no, they don't have as much money as us. Now, if that's negative recruiting, that's negative recruiting in 2024.
Glenn Schumann, like we said, was in the running for the North Carolina job. We know that he met twice with UNC officials, but at the age of 34, he's got a bright future.
Yes, he
There's
does.
no rush to become a head coach in the wrong situation.
On paper, to lose out to Bill Belichick for a head coaching job is not something that I think is supposed to knock you back to the back of the line.
Now, remember, back in 2022, the Eagles wanted him to, or at least they were considering him to be their defensive coordinator. So like I said, Glenn Schumann, nothing wrong with doing the interviews year in, year out. Get that interview experience, find out what works for you, but be like Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart waited, and it worked out for him, needless to say.
Do you think there's going to be somebody from that North Carolina board, the way that I do, that is going to stand up and say, I said no to this?
Yeah, they're going to filibuster.
I said no to this. I lost, but I said no to this, and I'll explain to you why. Because we just handed the keys to our university. Now, we're going to talk a lot about Belichick. Dan Mullen to UNLV does not stir me quite the same way as Bill Belichick to North Carolina.
So Barry Odom leaves to go to Purdue. They had a job opening, and Dan Mullen is going to be the coach in Vegas.
So Vegas is... We're going to have a press conference. Just send it out in a press release. Just give me whatever details you want to. I do want to hear the contract details for Belichick. I do want to hear about the son, what's been written in, if it's true or not. And the other thing, at some point, I've looked at what it takes academically to get into North Carolina. And I'm not saying whether it's Duke, Stanford, Georgia Tech, any of the perceived smart schools, that you don't have exceptions. Do you know that 4.39 is a real grade point average?
Yeah,
and
you take weighted courses, yeah.
They suggest on the North Carolina admissions page. Now, we're not telling you shouldn't apply, but a 4.39 seems to be the number that we look at. They accept 18% of the people who apply.
I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit different if you're a football player that Bill Belichick wants at North Carolina. I got a feeling I'll go out on a limb and say that.
Right. I don't think most are going to be walking in with a 36 on the ACT. If you're a parent, you know what that number is. It's damn near unattainable. Unless you're really, your kid got blessed with the genes. Mine didn't. I don't know about yours. I don't
Mine
suspect
definitely doesn't have the genes.
The way you talk about Nico, I don't think a 36 on the ACT is.
Although he's a much better test taker, like those kind of tests, as opposed to the day in, day out work. Gary Myers, longtime writer in New York, had this to say about Bill Belichick and the guy that he talked to, as in the guy being Lawrence Taylor. He said, talked to Lawrence Taylor, greatest player in North Carolina history, perhaps, to get his thoughts on Bill Belichick. And Taylor texted, UNC stock has just gone up. He loves it. He said, absolutely, I like it. And then Gary Myers asked Lawrence Taylor, did you talk to him about it? And LT said, that's all we have been doing the last couple of days. So, obviously, Lawrence Taylor went to North Carolina, obviously played for Bill Belichick in the pros, and loves this pairing.
So I don't know for sure. I don't know if Lawrence graduated. Usually to be a college coach. Like, people are going to say, well, Lawrence will be on a staff. Well, he might be an honorary staff member.
I don't know if you want him on the staff. Well, I don't know if you can count on Lawrence Taylor showing up every day, even if he did graduate.
I'd like to think he's in a better place. My point is, the collection of, I'll call them toys, assistant coaches, misfits, who's going to go recruiting? Now, here's what I think they're going to say. What are you talking about? We're building an NFL factory. They're all going to come to us. Okay. Better have a weed-out process, whether it's academically, socially, and everything else. Hey, let me ask, is there still a 2-hour rule in college football where I get you for 2 hours, the rest of the world has you for 22?
I believe that rule is in place.
Yeah, this is going to work. Thank God the money thing is not a thing anymore. I think they still sort of want you to, have an academic life, which is the reason this was put in. What is Bill Belichick going to do in 2 hours with these people?
He's going to lose his mind because he's going to want more time because he's one of those coaches that feels like too much time doesn't exist.
So where they're going to get in trouble, they're going to get in trouble as a staff.
Probably.
Where they're going to get in trouble is there.
And don't forget now, Herm Edwards got in trouble for similar things at Arizona State. That's the adjustment you have to make when you go from the NFL to college.
That's why Charlie Weiss couldn't work in college, because he's in a world where I got you all damn day. We're going to go to a meeting, we're going to walk on the field. We're going to go back to a meeting and walk on the field. You're going to eat, and I'm going to get you back on the field. His crap was too complicated for college. So that's the place you better worry about. And again, North Carolina got away with murder a few years ago when it comes to academic stuff.
The basketball team.
Yeah, murder. That was... They
got swept under the carpet pretty quickly, and that can't happen again. So a lot of his former players in New England are supporting this move, including Jason McCourty.
I look at his coaching style and what he does. He knows how to put players in position to succeed. Come to this school if you want to learn how to be an outside linebacker that can translate well to getting drafted and playing in the NFL. That is going to be his expertise. I think right now for Bill is the staff that he places around him, because in college, different than the NFL, those personal relationships mean so much.
Yeah, because Josh McDaniels seems like a guy that gets along with everybody. Matt Patricia, I'm sure he's going to be patient with a 19-year-old who doesn't know his ass from his elbow.
But it's easier now for guys like that. Like you said, Matt Patricia doesn't have to go and choke down someone's potato casserole to try to get their kid. You have NIL, and that's going to do the recruiting for you.
And Super Bowl rings on the table. It's the greatest flex of all time. Excuse me, I've heard a little bit about you, sir. Tell me a little bit more. Foom. Oh, wait. I need this other hand to show you all my Super Bowl rings.
And he's going to have a GM, Mike Lombardi, who has been on this show, has been on with Pat McAfee and Chuck and Chernoff a ton of times, will be at North Carolina to be their GM. And he's got a long-standing association with Bill Belichick, the Patriots, the Niners, the Raiders, and the Browns he's worked for. And Belichick once called him one of the smartest people I've ever worked with. I'll just say this. I saw those two work together in Cleveland without Tom Brady. It wasn't good. I saw Bill Belichick save 1 year with Mac Jones, win in New England. It wasn't good. I don't think it's going to be good here.
Mike Lombardi is probably a very smart guy. You know what Mike Lombardi's never had to deal with, nor has Bill Belichick? Parents. Oh, you know what else he's never dealt with? Boosters. Again, I'm fascinated. I'm in. You want to give me the biggest bucket of popcorn? I'm all in for this. And again, I hope it's documented. I hope he either has incredible success or he flames out. Stuff in the middle, as I like to say, is not a storyline. 7-5, 8-4 is not a storyline. Now, can I give you something when it comes to Bill Belichick, the brand? I have now perused North Carolina's 2025 schedule. Game day is going to be hard-pressed to go to any of these games and try to, with a straight face, tell me, we're here for the football, man. Now, I think they're going to want to open up. Open up at North Carolina. Take a look at the schedule. I'll give you one more. If Bill Belichick, in his mind, and it hasn't been good the last few years, his ability to outcoach people has not really shown up. Without being disparaging, when I look at the list of teams and who their head coaches are and what their resources are and the brain power around them, they should be up 21-0 in every game they play next year. Who was the guy that said, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to outmaneuver them. That
was Charlie Weiss.
Thank you. You want to know why?
I have a schematic advantage, I believe, is the term. And Bill Belichick's official presser will be coming down at 2 o'clock today. So stay tuned for that.
So awesome. I don't use that word often, but I'm going to tell you that word fits.
You're doing all kinds of North Carolina research. That's how excited you are. So what about the role of a GM? He's got some help there, but Rodney Harrison, who, again, played for Belichick in New England, says this is something Belichick is used to.
Well, and I would just say this, they would be damn fools not to hire you. And people say, well, he's not going to want to go in NIL and all this other stuff. Heck, you've been a general manager for the last 20 years. Why can't you negotiate a couple $100,000 for the kid?
He hasn't had to deal with parents. He hasn't had to deal with agents who are now, wait, you have an agent? Yeah, coach, I'm in the portal. Who are you?
Well, see, therein lies the difference. You have those players in the NFL under your thumb. They can't go anywhere. These players can.
I'll give you another one. You had 7 draft picks a year. I got to find 30 guys a year. He was terrible at the 7, so he might buckshot, but his turnover, either they don't like it. Now, look, if you're a kid and you go to Bill Belichick like Bob Knight at Indiana and you don't know what you were getting yourself into, the moment I'm waiting for more than the press conference. What moment am I waiting for Bill Belichick at North Carolina more than the press conference today? His first halftime basketball appearance, where all of a sudden he's going to be the most jocular man. Mm-hmm. He is going to tell you. Now, Cignetti laid it down. They suck, they suck, they suck. Bill is going to try to come across as the friend of everybody. His media training and everything else. What's going to happen the first time he gets on the field and realizes they stink? This group stinks.
Well, C.J. Bailey is NC State's quarterback, their main rival, and he said Bill Belichick can get it too. No matter who the coach is for UNC, we're going to kick them. So perhaps some motivation for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he's got a snot-nosed 20-year-old who's done nothing relative to him. If Bill Belichick even acknowledges the chip on his shoulder to beat NC State, I swear to God, this isn't Bill Belichick. Why am I starting to believe this isn't Bill Belichick? This is the Paul McCartney who died, except now we got a new one in the Beatles.
He died in 1966. This Bill Belichick died 2 years ago. UNC going to host at LaSalle this Saturday at 4 o'clock. So perhaps we see Bill
There's no doubt
address the crowd at halftime.
There's no doubt.
And like we said, that press conference introducing him as the new head coach at North Carolina is at 2 o'clock today.
Hold on. Ready? Let me just do this quick, because here is at least the beginning. TCU, Charlotte. I don't even know who Charlotte is.
North Carolina
Richmond,
schedule.
UCF. By the way, he's going up against Scott Frost. Ooh, who would have thought it? Cal. This is incredible. If he can't NC State, Clemson, okay, that one I'm interested in. Duke, smart schools. Stanford, smart school. Virginia, smart school. Bill Belichick should be up 21-0 in all of these games. If he's half the man he used to be.